Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to week 4 of our English 410 class. Hopefully you guys are staying warm on this snowy, kind of cold morning. So let's take a look at our calendar, see what resources we have here to help you along your way this week as we round out January. I can't believe the month is almost over, guys. It's crazy. All right, so this week we've got a lot to do. We are starting work on a conceptual model analysis. Lots of good information about that assignment linked here in the assignment details itself. This is a 60-point assignment, so of course worth spending a little time on. This assignment is based on information from the article Developing and Validating a Quantitative Measure of Organizational Courage. Wow, that title, right? So many multisyllabic words, but really a good article that breaks down some ideas that I think are really applicable to this class, not only the class itself, but hopefully the work you'll be doing after you graduate. So go ahead and download it, read it, good ideas there. So your task is to explain the meaning of the conceptual model that they used in the article. And then you get to create your own conceptual model that represents a set of interrelated concepts, a complex process, or hierarchy, or other abstract set of ideas. And I've got a template for you there. So do make sure to download this APA template for conceptual models. It'll really help guide you as we move forward here. So another several part assignment. Those do seem to be the trend here. So make sure you're hitting all of those marks as we go through. So the first part is a message to the board of directors. Henry Kissinger, real smart guy. If you don't know about him, I've got him linked for you here if you need a bio. Said that understanding the true nature of the state is the hardest thing to do. And as we've looked at politics, probably under a more circumspect lens in the last couple years, I think we probably find that this is true. Assume you're presenting an accurate description of your company to the board of directors and a handful of investors who may have concerns about your company's latest quarterly performance. This is particularly appropriate right now because many companies are struggling economically, and so these kind of presentations are taking place across the nation right now. In fact, these kind of presentations are taking place for CBC, our community college legislatures, representatives. Washington state government is in session trying to figure out the budget for next year, and so we have representatives from our school making these presentations to people who are in charge of how much funding we're going to be able to get, how many classes we're going to be able to offer, how well we're going to be able to support students. So while some of these assignments might feel a little abstract, they actually do have grounding in reality, things that people across the board in multiple different kinds of companies are experiencing. So this kind of quarterly performance review discussion with directors and investors is something that's actually quite common and is taking place with our own school right now. So very timely. Your company can be the one you're working for right now, if you want to, or it can be a different company that you just know about. So if you're working for Amazon, you could talk about them. Or if you're really interested in Odwalla after doing that case study, you could talk about them. So really just whoever you're mostly interested in. In your PowerPoint presentation that you would be doing for this board, you show the following conceptual model here. This conceptual model, it's a visualization of complex ideas to help people understand those ideas more fully. So in 2 to 3 paragraphs, explain what this conceptual model means. So you're going to summarize what you think the takeaway is here. Identify which of the 4 types of organization your company fits in, and explain why the company fits there. Identify a specific problem, use your imagination, have fun with it. You can be as creative as you would like, and recommend 1 or more solutions. Also, it's kind of fun if your problem isn't even based in reality. You could say the Klingons are invading. I don't know. Have fun with it though. So recommend 1 or more solutions based on the article that you read earlier. And then make sure you stress a significant and memorable point in your decision-making audience. If you've ever watched like crime shows like Law and Order or anything like that, when the lawyer gets up and they make their big impassioned closing argument to the jury and they're like, this is what's at stake. This is what I've given you in terms of information. Here's what you should do. That's kind of what you're supposed to be doing here. You're making a point, right? You've got this organizational model. We've discussed it. What big point do you want your audience to take away? People who are stakeholders, people who hold the fate of your company in their hands. And then part 2 is when you get to create your own conceptual model. So it's your turn, hooray. using the Smart Art feature in Word, and I've got linked for you here some resources to help you with that, or other graphics application. If you're really good at graphics, have fun with whatever you're best at. Just make sure that it is uploadable to Canvas. Create a conceptual model that illustrates at least 4 distinct concepts, interrelationships, phases, or elements. Up to you how you design it. Just make sure that there are 4 working components within this organizational conceptual model. Your conceptual model illustrates one of the following topics. You get to pick. Cyber threat, obviously very big right now. Not all that long ago, ransomware held a whole bunch of hospitals because they got access to their systems, and people, nurses, medical professionals were having to do everything on paper until they were able to get their systems back. So big stuff going on there. Intergenerational conflict, the okay boomer thing counts as intergenerational conflict. We see a lot of humor based around the differences between generations, but there's also intrinsic clashing sometimes, as well as sometimes people in management might not know how to communicate to a younger crowd, and vice versa, the younger crowd doesn't know how to effectively communicate with people outside of their generational field. So you've got baby boomers, you've got the millennials, you've got Gen Z, you've got a whole bunch of folks, right? So how do we get them all to get along? Leverage interdependence among divisions of labor. Everyone feels like they're being made to do more work than everybody else. So how are you going to help them understand that there is an equal division of labor? Managing ethnocentrism, mentorship and mentoring, teamwork and collaboration, training, professional development, trust among colleagues. So many good things to work with here. And really the best place to get started is to do just a little bit of research on your topic. EBSCOhost is a great way to do that. You've got access to a whole bunch of free articles through the CBC library databases, so do take advantage of that. If you happen upon something awesome, a good graphic, just don't copy it, obviously, right? You can adapt it and reshape it and use the information in your own way, but don't just copy it. And you will need to cite the source of the object you adapted, so that we're making sure we're giving credit where credit is due. So many lawsuits in the business world take place when people are not properly ascribing credit. And we wouldn't want to be the person who is sparking the lawsuit. So let's just make sure we cite things. And below your conceptual model, I need 5 to 8 sentences that explain how to interpret your model. It may seem very self-explanatory to you, but chances are somebody out there in the audience is going to need some additional data. So help them understand how your model works. And use the template that I've got for you up above, right up here. Ba-dum! And that's the big assignment for this week. Good stuff. Lots of great data here, lots of really interesting ways to adapt and visualize information. So I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with here. So that's the big work for this week. There are a couple smaller assignments spread throughout. Start thinking about your MIR topic. I know it feels like it's so far away because it's the end of the quarter when that's due. But it does help to kind of brainstorm and lay the groundwork for that. So think about what you might be interested in doing. We've got a discussion board on that. Then we also have a discussion board that you're going to be doing on Friday. This one's worth 40 points, and it's the Nomological Network of Organizational Courage, that article that you guys are reading for your major project on Sunday. This is a little pre-work you're going to be doing, and a discussion board where you're going to get to respond to each other. So do remember, after you've completed the discussion board, to read through all of your classmates' posted responses and choose one that you can respond to. Affirm or elaborate on shared experience. Using the ideas from the article, suggest 1 or 2 ways people could benefit from the author's study. So do make sure you're doing that peer reply as well as the original discussion posting. This is worth some good points as well, so make sure to invest, dig in, have fun reading through the article, and let me know if you have any questions. Stay safe and healthy out there, guys. Have a great week, and I will be working on grading this week, so expect to see some updates to your grades by Friday. All right, keep up the good